If I can prove this. You ready to rock?
Yep.
Bet. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Spin Cycle live stream today with my special guest, Trice High. It's your boy, Vortex Sports, Coach Vic. You already know who it is. This is actually my first time having a guest on, so I want to, big shout out first thing first off top. Shout out to Trice for being my first guest ever on the Spin Cycle live stream. Hopefully, we put together a good pod for you guys today. Something to tune into to come chat with us, give us some good feedback, keep me rolling, give me some good things to see and look forward to for this season coming up. Today we're gonna do a little bit of fun stuff. We got a little obviously basketball chat, then we got some real world stuff. We got hoops, recent news, a little pop culture. Obviously meet, our guests, see what he likes to do outside of just what you may know about him already. And so we can just go dive right into it, man. That's my short intro. I'm gonna go ahead and let you introduce yourself. And don't be prideful, my guy. Stack on the accolades, let us know what's going on, let us know who you are, talk to the people.
All right. Well, first of all, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you having me on your podcast. Obviously, always an honor when someone wants to chop it up with you. So I appreciate that. Um, about me, I mean, my name is Trice High. For those that don't know, I'm a hooper. I'm a storyteller. I work in sports media as well. I played 4 years at an NCAA school up in Pennsylvania. Um, Played a couple years of like semi-pro and then a year of pro basketball. And still hoop now. Um, I also do mainly full time. I do YouTube. That's kind of been what I've done for the last probably since I was in high school is when I started. But I started
I
doing
know
it
that I
full
know they
time
see that
out
hard
of
wear over your shoulder
university.
right there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It stays up there. So yeah, I got about 145,000 subscribers right now, so we're making our way up. But I've been doing it a long time. It's something I love to do. Basketball content, all kinds of stuff on there. So feel free to check that out. For a little bit, I was the director of athlete content and creative for a sports media company. So I did that for about a year and a half. Kind of broke off of that and went back to doing my own thing. But that was a dope opportunity. I got to work one on one with a lot of NBA players, a lot of professional athletes in general, help them tell their stories, and get integrated into that world. So that was a lot of fun and helped me to kind of get better at the sports media craft side of things. So um, and then on top of that, I do some coaching. So my wife actually works for Canada Basketball as one of their athletic therapists, and so through her, I've been able to have opportunities to work with their U16, U17 national teams and their junior academy. So been able to work with some of the top hoopers out of Canada, which has been really dope opportunity. Some of the guys I got to work with the U16 this past summer are ranked in the top 10 of the class of 28, class of 27 as well. So some really good hoopers up that way. So it's always great to work with them, and I get to do some player development with some of their NBA guys as well. So
For
a
sure.
lot of fun. I'm well integrated in hoops from all aspects, man. Whether it be playing, coaching, media, I kind of have a hand in all of it. So I enjoy what I get to do.
No, that's great and that's perfect. And I'm glad you explained that so well to everybody who's gonna actually be able to check this out. Is because I mean I don't follow as deeply into your career, but I've obviously know enough about you, and that's why I wanted you on, especially for the reasons that we share. Like I haven't hooped on the same levels as you, and I haven't coached or been able to coach on the same levels as you yet. And I haven't actually even done the type of media you've done yet. You go far and above beyond what I do, but we all do. We share those three things in common, and that was something that I felt like obviously bringing you on as a guest today, especially as the first guest, will be so aligned with what I have going on and everything else. And so that's perfect. I'm glad you got to break that down for us. There was a few questions I was going to chat and ask about inside of that, knowing what you've been able to do, especially overseas here, just on this recent run. Who are some of the guys that you were able to, work out with, coach with, even have the honor to coach the kids? Any names you want to drop or anything, anybody special?
Yeah, there's a couple that are like really good. Like, I mean, all the kids at that level, especially like, the even the U16. I mean, that's the youngest age group you can play internationally. But even at that level, like you represent your country, you're one of the best. Isaiah Hamilton, he's probably the best rankings wise. I think he's number 8. I think in ESPN or Rivals, whoever it was that just dropped the 2028 rankings, he was number 8 in the world. Really good player. Been compared to Zion with some of the way he can elevate and dunk over defenders, and I mean he's a just an electric player. But good kid too, hilarious off the court. Good kid. My guy Kenyon St. Louis. He's a point guard from Canada who's also really talented. He's got offers from all over the place already. UNLV, Mississippi State, just to name a couple. But those probably my favorites, just off the strength of just getting to know them and understanding the kind of kids they are. I got to do some of the, like I said, I got to do some pro skills work with some of the NBA guys through Canada has this thing called the National Training Center, where during the summer, during the off season, the NBA players or anybody, not just NBA, anybody who's associated with any of the national teams can come to Toronto and train. So I got to
Tough.
work with Caleb Houston, that plays for the Atlanta Hawks now.
Yep.
Put him through some workouts this past summer. That was really cool to get to know him. And always a great thing when you're dealing with professionals when they take the time after the workout or after, even when I was working with them in the media, they'll sit there with you and chop it up for an hour, just talking life and basketball and everything else. It's always a good test of character. So really enjoyed those opportunities this summer. Those are probably some of the names that I worked the closest with that I really enjoyed getting to know, and several others though. I mean, it's been a really cool learning experience, and I was just a small part of it. I mean, I wasn't on like the staff that went over to the tournaments or anything. I was helping out with training camps and then helping out around, but still a cool opportunity to get to work with them and kind of volunteer that time.
No, for sure, yeah, and like I say, with me, that's what it's all about. It don't necessarily have to be the highest paying or the most rewarding. Like I'm rewarded for what I'm doing. I enjoy what I'm doing. I'm getting the opportunity to help. I'm getting the opportunity to learn as well. So it's always going to be when you mix those things in the same pot, it's going to be a good look on the outside of it. Um, think that was kind of it as far as what goes into the basketball as far as this past summer, the U16 Canada run, etc. I was going to kind of get into your background of playing. I know you say you played up in Pennsylvania. Talk about some of your hoop days, some of your maybe career high, any type of moments you want to mention, big games that you guys ever pull a banner or win a conference, championship, anything like that.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think. So I actually started hooping later than most people. So the first year I actually played competitive basketball was like 7th grade. So I didn't start playing until a lot later in life. And so from that point, I kind of always felt like I was kind of playing catch up to everybody else. But I fell in love with it immediately, dedicated all my time to it. And that's one of the things I tell people is like the amount of it just is a testament to the amount of work that had to be put in to still get to a certain level when you start that late. Like I can only imagine what it would have been like if I'd have been hooping from the time I was like a little guy.
Right.
And that's kind of one of the things I stress to like my brother and other people I, that I work with that are kids is like, man, when you've been working at it from this age, you should go far and beyond anything that I was able to do. But I mean, I'm trying to think. So I'm originally from Arkansas, so I hooped at I'm from Batesville, so I was born and raised in that area. Lived in Texas for about 8 years, on and off. So I went to high school for 2 years at Batesville. My sophomore and junior years, was in
What years
Texas
were
from
those?
that would have been 20. What years was that, man? 2014, 2015.
Boy said it's been a while.
2014,
Hold on.
2015. Yeah. So those were the years I was at Batesville, and then I graduated. So I lived in Texas from 7th to my freshman year. moved to Batesville, then moved back to the same place we were in Texas. My dad's a pastor, so if you know anything about pastors, like you're always on the move. So my senior year, I actually left Batesville, went back down and graduated from my high school in Texas.
Anybody you played with that's
So that
a a name drop there between Batesville, maybe somebody in
well, then
Arkansas
I mean
history.
in Batesville, I mean I guess in Batesville, I'm trying to think. We played. I mean that's back when the 5A East was like Forest City was like at the top of its game.
Yeah,
So like Robert Glasper was a dog back then. He ended up
RJ
going to
for
play in
sure.
Arkansas. Um, he hooped for a long time too, because then he went to like three different schools after that. I
Hmm.
kept up
I
with
think
him a
he went
little
to
bit.
Oral Roberts.
Yeah, he did, and then Arkansas Tech as well. And then Trey Thompson was a beast. He was like
Yeah, I still see
they
Trey a
would put
lot.
him on the back. They would put him on the backside of the 2-3 zone, and just RJ would just get in the middle and just lob it to him every time. It was like it was nothing. So those dudes were killers. Like they won state that year. And
Yeah,
then Austin Reeves obviously was in the area. Like he's from Newark, right outside Batesville. So
right.
always saw them around. Him and his brother, great players. It's just funny to me because like I was following Austin from because we're the same age and we were from the same place. So I was following him. Like when I was hooping in college, he was hooping at a much higher level, but was also hooping. So I was keeping up with him and telling people all the time, like, yeah, this guy's gonna end up being he's gonna end up going to the NBA, even when he was at Wichita State. So like to see him consistently elevate has been really cool. So obviously he's one that you could name drop. Never, we didn't play against them, but I just saw him all over the place. And then in Texas, there was a few guys that went and played like smaller universities, but nothing crazy. So yeah, I mean, I got to play against some solid competition in high school, especially in Arkansas. Arkansas is very underrated when it comes to hoops, and it was even back then.
And then moving over to the college level,
But
what was that
yeah,
like?
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So after college, so yeah, I went from when I graduated my school in Texas, I went 23 hours away from home up to Pennsylvania. So that was a big learning, not just adjustment on the court, but obviously like the weather, everything. So
Yeah,
that was a big jump. But man, it was fun, man. Like I even outside the basketball type of stuff, like because obviously I tell people all the time, like if you're gonna go play collegiate basketball, like you have to love it. Like I know a lot of guys who thought they loved it and they got there and they realized that
figured it out
they
quick.
didn't because it's
Yeah,
a full time like it's a full time thing, man. Like I know people who had basketballs tattooed on them that like they didn't hoop anymore after that first year. Like it just wasn't for them. Just that level of commitment. No, not to
right.
them. It just wasn't. They just weren't willing to give what you have to give.
No, for
And
sure.
so outside the basketball though, just building that community. Like I mean, I just got married last summer, and like everybody standing in my wedding dang near were people that I connected with through my team. Like they became my brothers. So that was a great experience, just getting away from home, growing up, becoming a man. And obviously the basketball side of things, it was a big learning curve. Cause like I said, I got a late start to basketball. So my first year in university, I redshirted the first half of the season. They were kind of like, look, you got to do X, Y, Z if you're going to make it on the court. So I locked myself in the gym and would be in there till like 2 a.m. shooting on the gun and stuff. I kind of realized pretty quick that like the way I was going to find a way on the floor was going to be to become an elite shooter. I was like, that's going to be my I I started looking around. And I was like, everybody has a role, and like this is gonna be one way that I know I can get on the floor. And so I just kind of like I became obsessive about it. And that's one thing that I love about basketball is whatever you put your time into, whatever you're willing to like really dedicate yourself to, you can achieve it through basketball. It's a great testament to work. And so that's one of the things that I did is I applied that work ethic to learn how to become an elite shooter in all aspects of the game, whether it was standstill shots, whether it was coming off of screens, running different sets, just everything I could think of, and studying great shooters. I used to study like all types of players, just watching like people that wouldn't like not just Steph Curry's and stuff. I was studying like JJ Redick. I was studying like guys who would run off of screens. Like I wanted to like obsess about the little things that would give you that opportunity. And so yeah, I did that. This my sophomore year, I ended up leading the conference in 3-point percentage. Led my team in 3-pointers made. So that was really cool to see that immediate jump to like the work immediately leading to success. Was able to hit some shots in some big games and stuff. Our team kind of struggled. Like it was never a very like we never had a ton of success as far as like winning a ton of games, but all still great learning experiences for like myself to learn the game of basketball, to become the best player I could be, dedicate myself to it in the summers and everything, and got my school taken care of, got a degree, and it was 100% worth it all the way around. Like the whole experience was perfect. And then 2020s when I graduated from there. So I did it the old-fashioned way. I was there 4 years. I didn't have a I just missed COVID. COVID hit the last year right after our season just ended. So I didn't like there was some guys I played with that like just finished their college careers like last year. Like they ended up playing like 7, 8 years of college
Yeah, they
ball
got a
because of the
couple
COVID
more added
years,
on.
because of the yeah. So I was kind of mad that I missed out on those. I can't lie, but like I was four up, four down. Like I didn't get any extra years, but it's all good. It worked out the way it was supposed to, and um, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was fun, and then navigating basketball after COVID was just crazy. Like I played in like a few smaller leagues, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to keep hooping, but it was like the world was crazy at that point. Um, and then this past year, I played in a combine for this new league called the UBL that they were trying to launch, and got drafted to a team in Indiana. So I was there for like a few months, got to like made the roster, got paid a little bit in that league, kind of fell through. And so then I was kind of like, now I'm hooping still. I'm doing a lot of 3-on-3 right now. Like FIBA 3-on-3 tournaments is kind of the main thing I've been doing the
Yeah, I
last
just
little
saw
bit,
that
which is
recent run.
yeah, it's a different style of hoops. It fits my game really well. Just lots of 3-point shooting, lots of moving around. So it's something I enjoy, but I'm not against still hooping 5-on-5. I just if I could find the right fit, I might consider it, but I'm not like pressed for it either. Like I'm content with where I'm at. So that's the basketball journey. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Right on, bro. And then anything you got coming up next? Like I know obviously you just kind of gave us a background. Anything that's in the foreshadowing stages right now that you kind of want to drop on us? Maybe any projects you're working on, any upcoming games that you got to play, any places you're visiting to go help coach in the near future.
Yeah, I mean, so I still like I said, as far as playing, there's a couple like 3-on-3 tournaments that are coming up in the winter and in the spring that I'm gonna probably play in. Like I said, I'm still open to opportunities. Like I've had a couple agents that I've talked to about different opportunities, like in some like smaller countries. It's just at this point in life, I've got a lot of friends that have chased those opportunities, and everybody's got their different priorities when it comes to basketball. I
For
find
sure.
that like some people obsess about that side of things, and you get to a certain point where you wonder if you're doing it for the label, like for the label is saying, "Oh, I play professionally," or are you doing it, because you really love the game, and at what point do you start kind of building a life for yourself and for your family? And like I know some guys that are playing in Mexico on outdoor courts making $20 a game. Like I mean, you're not like to me, like you're selling out for the label of the pro, but you're kind of sacrificing stability and financial stability and being able to kind of start your career and whatever you want to do. So maybe for the right fit, but I'm not trying to necessarily like just jump at anything just to do it. As far as coaching goes, I'm still like I actively still help out with Canada basketball when I can. So like this fall at certain they have like once a month they have their junior academy, which is basically they take the top seventh and eighth graders from across the country. They bring them in once a month and do kind of like a weekend camp with them. So they'll do like skill work with them. They'll show them kind of basically what it does is it builds the foundation for their national teams. So they show them like the drills that the national team does. They kind of show them the way you carry yourself as a national team athlete, and then that way when those kids go to try out they kind of know what to expect.
All right, they fit the mold a little bit
So
better.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
US has a similar thing, kind of, in their gold camps, and then also in their mini camps for their training camps, but they don't necessarily have that same system, mainly because they don't have to have it. Like the
Right.
pool of talent's so deep in the US, you don't necessarily have to cultivate it like that. In Canada, they're still trying to build that culture. So I'll help out with that when I can once a month. I'll be back in Arkansas in November for my brother's varsity season. I want to be there for that and watch him play his games and stuff. So I'll be around there helping him for that season. I'll be working out with him as much as I can. Which is kind of when I'm back home, when I'm in the state, that's kind of where you'll find me is just training him. But outside of that, coaching, that's kind of it. And then the media stuff's always on the go. I mean, my YouTube channel, if anybody wants to check it out, it's basketball content, mainly like documentary style videos, telling stories, that kind of stuff. It's kind of what got me all the opportunities I have within sports media have been from that channel. So like right now I've got a team of like two or three editors and myself and a couple guys that make thumbnails that kind of all work together on help me put these projects together. Right now, we're working on a big documentary about Larry Bird, and it's like it's very very in depth, and it's been like a month-long project so far. But we're looking forward to when that one's done. So that's kind of the big one on the horizon right now.
That's what's up. The first one I saw was the one you did on Curry, and I was like,
Mhm.
wow, like, no, this is like this is a production, bro. It's not just like some
Yeah.
hobby, something, to do
Hmm.
for fun. And if it is for somebody right now, like don't let that discourage you because like I'm pretty sure everybody has to start there. Like that's kind of in the phases where
It
I'm
does
even at
start.
with a lot of the media things that I'm doing. Like the writing
Hmm.
side, the game, I really I've gotten a lot better. Even over just the past 6 months, 8 months, I've
Right.
really done a lot of work and diving in on how to write about these kids in a much more descriptive way, I guess you could say, because when you write about players, there's only so much you can really write down and say. And there's different ways to describe them as well. But when you put the two together, you really get a unique formula for how to talk about the kids. But outside of it, like I was saying, man, it's really great to see some of those productions that you put together. Things are sharp, and I'm looking forward to that next one. We're gonna get
I
over
appreciate it.
to some of the fun side of things that I have for us today. Um, we're gonna start with what are we gonna start with? Let's see. I think we're gonna do all right, cool. Yeah, we'll start with we'll do a bunch of start bench and cuts, and they'll be
Mm,
like so we'll start with a college hoops edition, right? And then some of them be like maybe so this one will be schools, obviously won't necessarily be players. Um, and then going down, we kind of have players other than school. So but anyways, we'll start out with the college edition. I call this one the blue blood battle. I'm pretty sure you can guess. So you're gonna start bench cut,
mm,
and this is like um all-time roster, right? So you could say like from anybody who ever played there from the beginning of time till now.
mm,
So you got Duke, Kansas, and Kentucky for your start bench cut all-time roster.
mm. That's a tough one. All right,
The battle of the blue
so
bloods.
we're basically saying like if they was gonna play against each other like they're best players.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you could say top
All
10,
right.
top 15, top 25 that ever went there. It really doesn't matter what kind of like range you want to set
Right.
on it. It's more just like which roster would you rather take?
Yeah, I'd probably go. Uh, I'd probably go start just off of recent success and just since I've followed hoops, like it's hard to beat Kentucky's output. But what I would say is how I don't know how much of that might just be like Coach Cal period, but I'll probably go because you know what because of that reason I'll go start Duke because it's more the program versus the coach. So I'll go
Right.
start Duke, bench Kentucky, and then I'll cut Kansas just off of the strength of just like the past 20 years, maybe like it's just not been the
Yeah.
same level of success that they're probably used to. So
And I almost threw UNC
that'd
in
be
there, but
my
I almost threw
that'd be a tough
UNC
one.
in there, but I didn't want it to become a Duke and UNC thing again. So I was like, I'll skip on it. I'll go ahead and throw Kansas in the rep. Um, I kind of had
That's
it
a
the
good one.
same way. I thought about it literally the same exact way as you did. I said, like when you think about recent success, you think about Kentucky, but then like you kind of look over it um, longevity of resumes from certain guys at Duke, and like you look at the program
Hmm.
standard, and it's doesn't really matter who's at the helm of the program. Like you're kind of going to get the same product no matter what. So I was a little bit where you were at with it. Now we'll move on to
Yeah.
this is like the 2025 power ranking shakeup, kind of based off of last year coming into this year. Who's going to be hot? You got Houston,
Hmm.
UConn, and Florida.
Houston, UConn, and Florida. Oh, so Florida, that's a go. So I didn't even mention him. So when I was this summer, I got to hang out with like I said, my wife works with the national team, and she worked with the U23 team this summer. And one of the kids I really got to know was Xavier Lee. That's going to be the point guard at Florida this year, along with Boogie. And he's great. He's a great kid, man. I'm talking about he's really good kid and electric. Like as a hooper, oh man, like I'm excited to see him in the SEC. So who was that? So it was Florida, Houston, and who?
UConn. Good old Dan.
UConn. Yeah, see, I'll probably go. I'll probably go Houston, start Houston, bench Florida, and cut UConn just because I don't know as much about UConn's roster next season. And Houston's always solid. They got a great coach.
I'm a Gator fan, so I was just a little bit the other way around. Obviously, I'm gonna start Florida, bench Houston, and cut UConn. Um,
Yeah.
but I like, and the only reason real talk between Houston and UConn is just like, I mean, I like Dan, but I much more relate to Kelvin. So like, I was just like, I kind of picked off
Hmm.
coaches pretty much.
Right.
And
That makes
then
sense.
we'll go to like the GOAT coaches. So you're more so talking about coaches in this one. But you got Arkansas,
Mm.
obviously with Cal. You got Michigan State with Izzo, and then you got St. John's. So, what you got there?
Oh, Cal, Izzo, and Patino.
Yeah,
I'll probably go. Just off of personal preference, and I just like the way Cal does things. I'll go start Cal just because I'm always gonna lean towards the players over anything, and I like that he's a players coach above anything. Like he's always looking out for the players and their families, and he just always puts together like these electric rosters. So I'll go with Coach Cal start. Um, I'll go bench. I'll go bench Patino just because I like the old. He's an old school, just like fiery coach. I like his coaching style. Then I'll bench Izzo, even though I mean, or cut Izzo, but even though like I mean, still a great coach, obviously. But that'd probably be my list.
I had it just a little bit differently. I had Cal, obviously. Then I took Izzo because I like the legendary aspect, and then Izzo is one of
Mm,
the only two coaches I believe is him and Cal that have took those separate squads that far.
mm, that's a good point.
So, but that was just the only reason why I really do love Patino. Patino is much more of how I coach, and so it kind of
Mm,
fits. You know what I'm saying? But
mm-hmm,
we'll move along. I'm gonna cut past. We only got a few minutes left. I'm gonna cut past this WNBA segment. It was the same thing, start bench cut, but I'll come back to a few of them. I'll skip ahead to um the Arkansas cut bench version. So everything here is pretty much Arkansas based, whether it's the Hogs or pretty much all Arkansas kids. I got the throwback trio
mm,
start bench cut of Scottie Pippen, Derek Fisher, and Joe Johnson.
mm. I'm gonna start Joe. That's an easy one.
ISO
ISO
Joe.
Joe, one of my
Yeah.
favorites. Um, bench Scotty just because you can't ever
All right, cool.
overlook that. He he probably should have been started, but I just have a personal preference. And then cut Derek Fisher, but like I mean, probably one of the most successful point guards ever when it comes to just being at like playing his role at the top level. So that's
Just a
probably
tough
my
call
list.
right there. The same exact
Yeah,
way I had it though. Same exact way I had it.
yeah.
I know a lot of the older guys probably would say Scotty, Derek, and Cut Joe probably, but then you probably find a
Mm,
good 50-50 ball that'll say Scotty first no matter what, then Joe second. So I feel
yeah.
like that was a really good one though. Then we got the young guns
Mm.
moving on. We got the young guns. So we got Austin Reeves, Malik Monk, and Moses Moody start bench cut.
I'll go Malik's another one that I played that I actually we played against when he was at was he at Nettleton? Where was he?
EPC.
He was somewhere before. Okay, so I think when he was at Bentonville, we played against him. So let me think. I will go Austin one. I'll go Malik two, and I'll go Moses three, just because Moses is a little after my time, like being in the like when he was coming up through the state, I wasn't around, so I didn't get a chance to really check him out in high school. But no, you can't beat Austin what he's been able to do, and then Malik's electric as a scorer. I mean, he's just like unstoppable when he gets hot.
Then we got fresh forwards. So we got Jalen Williams, J Will from OKC. We got Bobby,
Hmm.
obviously, and then we got Dan Gafford.
Oh, that's a tough one. I'll go. I'll go Bobby one for sure. So Bobby start. I love Jalen, but he wasn't dunking on people like Daniel was. So I'll go Daniel bench. Jalen obviously had more success,
No, they say
but
J Will was the him and Caruso was the Jokic stoppers.
yeah, Jay Will probably had more winning success, but he not on Gaffer's level as far as even in the NBA like production. But I do think Jalen's gonna have a great NBA career. I think he will.
I agree, I agree. And then we got last but not least, this is kind of a shakeup almost. I call it opposite trajectories because two of them are kind of on the way up the scale, even though they're in different parts of it, and then one of them is kind of like on the way down on the decline. So we got Mike Conley, obviously from Fayetteville area, might be from Fayetteville itself. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it is Fayetteville.
Okay.
Then you got Isaiah Joe, you got Nick Smith Jr. So on this one, I kind of wanted to keep in mind we're not talking about like GOAT Mike Conley. We're talking about like Mike today.
Oh, Mike
Like,
today. Oh,
yeah, you taking Mike right
I don't
now,
even
or you
know if Mike
taking
today hooping like that. Is he? Where's he hoop
nah,
at
nah. I mean, he
now?
played on Timberwolves last year. He was still a starter. So I mean, he was starter in the
He
league
was.
last year.
All
Started
right,
for the
so let's
T-Wolves.
see. Yeah, I like Isaiah Joe's game a lot. I like the way he played, but they kind of phased him out in the playoffs. Uh, I'll go. I'll go Isaiah start. I'll bench Conley, and then I'll cut Nick. Even though I think Nick hasn't really got a fair shake yet. I think once he gets a little more opportunity, I think he'll really show what he
So
can
from
do.
what I've seen with Nick, I don't know. Nick is definitely different, bro. But like he's playing behind B Miller right now. He's kind of getting a little bit of point guard minutes over there, Trey Man and stuff
Yeah,
like that. He's not
it's
really
packed at the
getting
point guard spot, man.
right,
They got so
exactly. He's not
many
really getting
people.
the clear, clean look. I thought that was something flying
No.
at me, bro. I don't know what that was. But I think, and I don't know, maybe I'm just like I'm over Mike Conley and I'm over him like playing over Rob too. I would definitely cut Mike
Mm,
though. I'm more than likely gonna
mm,
start Isaiah Joe because he's literally a top two 3-point shooter in the NBA, if I'm not mistaken,
yeah,
this year.
yeah, he
And
played
then
amazing.
give me Nick off the bench just for some young athleticism, somebody to keep it fresh, somebody that actually is trending upwards.
Mm,
And I think Mike's on his way
yeah,
out. So
that's a good list.
I had a little bit of stuff that we could run down for like a different segment, but I guess we probably won't get to that. I think we got like 4 minutes left on this. So we'll go into some of these. Are you a fan of the W? Like you watch any WNBA for real or
I don't really keep up with it like I probably should. Like I used to when I was with that sports media company, I would work with a lot of those. Like we used to work with Enrique Agumbawale a lot. Used to work with Aerial Powers. Who was some other ones? We used to work with some of them. So like I would interact with them, but I was never really following it like that. Um. But I mean, I keep up with it enough, probably.
well, I'll knock out just a few quick ones that I know that like will be, more the decent ones. We'll say the MVP tier is what I called it. You got Aja
Mm,
Wilson, Nafisia Collar, and Brianna Stewart.
okay. So I would say I would start Aja for sure. 'Cause she's just different. Bench Brianna, and then I'll cut Collier. Collier.
Yeah.
I'll probably cut her. So that's a good
I cut
list.
Stewie just based off this season, and
Mm,
that was just me. Like I say, Fifi had a crazy year. AJ had a crazy year. AJ actually just won DPOY today.
yeah, I saw she was like co
Oh
defensive
yeah,
player of the
first
year,
ever
right?
code. Yeah, I was like, that's crazy. Yeah, that's definitely crazy.
That is crazy.
Um, let's see, who do I want to do next? I would just do shooting stars. Who's got next and who's getting overhyped is kind of the theme that I was saying on this one. So we got CC, obviously Caitlin Clark. We got Kelsey
Hmm.
Plum, and then we got Paige Buckets. This is probably the toughest one to me, honestly.
So this is still start bench cut.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, I'll start Caitlin Clark. I'm a big fan of hers, and then it's tough after that. I was